there's some controversy brewing at the Department of Homeland Security. According to the Washington Post, Elaine Duke, who's the acting Homeland Security Secretary, was set to extend residency permits to over 50,000 Hondurans who are currently living in the United States. Now, this apparently did not sit well with White House Chief of Staff John Kelly, who reportedly called Duke and demanded she expel the Hondurans immediately. Now the Washington Post says Duke felt pressured by political forces and threatened to resign. DHS pushed back on that report earlier today. But regardless, one can't help but feel this case bears a striking similarity to that of Sally Yates, who earlier this year defied the Trump White House as the acting attorney general. To help us make sense of this reported turmoil inside the Department of Homeland Security is Andrew Arthur, the resident fellow in law and policy for the Center for Immigration Studies. All right, Andrew, give me a sense here about what's going on, because she is an acting DHS secretary. These Hondurans were supposed to be removed from the United States, and reportedly she gives them temporary reprieve against the wishes of the chief executive of the government, President Trump, through John Kelly.
Yeah, Honduras has been the beneficiary of what's called temporary protected status for almost 20 years. The State Department had cleared on the return of these individuals back to Honduras. There was no reason for them not to be returned, and yet Acting Secretary Duke decided to extend for another 6 months their presence in the United States, noting that they may be removed at the end of that period, but at the same time continuing it for no apparent reason whatsoever.
Well, and they were here and they get this protected status because of what? Because of a hurricane? Because of what is it? What's the reason?
The reason that they received temporary protected status initially was because of Hurricane Mitch, which took place in 1998.
What?
Since then, yeah.
What? 1998? What? Explain that to me. Okay, 1998 is a long time ago. Why would you still get protected status in the United States? Presumably, all these years later, you can return to your homeland. So it seems that John Kelly, through the president instructing him, okay, this has got to end now. We've spent money, we've taken care of you, now it's time to go home. So she is an Obama holdover, correct? The DHS acting secretary?
That's correct.
That's a problem, don't you think? That's a big problem.
It's just simply pushing the problem over to the plate of the incoming secretary, or hopefully incoming secretary, Kirstjen Nielsen, to make the decision, to make the tough decision 4 months before the midterm elections. And quite frankly, it just doesn't make sense. The time has come for this temporary status for these folks to end. The reasons that have been given over the last 18 years that they've been allowed to be here have been they've received too much rain, too little rain. There's been coffee rust.
Oh my gosh.
The reasons are just ridiculous.
Well, I've got to say that has to come to an end. But how about the Assistant Secretary of Homeland Security's tenure coming to an end? We need that to come to an end, because just like in the State Department, it's happening in the State Department as well. The president's mandate, his views, his policies are being thwarted by Obama holdovers or by career bureaucrats in the case of the State Department. And this is really thwarting the democracy, thwarting the election results. And I don't remember, and maybe you can fill me in, Andrew, I don't remember Obama having a lot of former Bush people in thwarting his will. Do you remember any circumstances where Bush holdovers were saying, no, we're just not going to do that. We're not going to do those policies?
I certainly don't remember that. And, you know, I can tell you that most of the people that staff these departments on a permanent basis are probably more in line with President Obama than they are with President Trump. And that might be a big part of the reason why you see a difference. But the Senate needs to get these folks confirmed, get the politicals into the positions where they can make these hard decisions.
The biting back of the swamp monsters. They're biting back. I appreciate it, Andrew. Thanks so much.